What up, y'all? So, found a spicy little brew here to play. So, this is Egg Warrior, and it's just like Egglock, where you're playing the Holy Eggbearer and Egg of Khelos, but we're using stuff like Torch and Slam and Siphoning Growth, Eternal Toil. This is a really spicy list. I like this one a lot. I played a couple of games and it seemed pretty dope. I had one time where somebody beat the 2020 that I got off the egg, so I just I used Umbra to make more. It was just bonkers. I ended up with like three 2020s on the board at the same time. But just pretty straightforward deck. You're just trying to get to the egg. There's not really any other win condition. So, if somebody does like a Hex or, I forget what the pre-spell is that silences a minion. So if somebody does get rid of your egg, you're kind of stuck. But it's a pretty decent control deck, and you can set it up so that you can get rid of your egg very quickly. So between Torch and the other spells, like you can Siphoning Growth. You can usually Torch a couple of times in a turn if you set it up right. So like if you've got Eternal Toil, Sanguine Depths, you just use stuff like that, Torch a couple of times after each individual one, and then you just need a couple more times to get there. So surprisingly pretty strong, and the cards in the Warrior class to be able to control the board are pretty good also. So Decimate and Shellnado are pretty solid, as well as, I forget what the weapon is, but it deals 1 damage to all minions whenever it attacks. Some of the stuff is really good. And then you use all that in combination with Torch. Torch is something that you can use obviously for your egg, but also for your opponent's minions and just getting problematic things out of the way. So, and the card draw too is insane. I mean, there's Slam, there's Eternal Toil, Shield Block for Glory. It's pretty bonkers. I don't know that I keep for Glory here. That seems a little loose. And you gotta assume this is an Imbue Druid. It's the most likely scenario. I don't think we need Execute yet. Could come in handy later, but we'll see where this gets me. And you do have some awkward draws sometimes with this, from what I've seen, because you can use Eggbearer to get the egg, draw it naturally, or try and use your card draw to get there. But there is also Nightmare Lord. I like Nightmare Lord for later in the game, because if for whatever reason you need something after the egg pops and they get rid of your 2020, there's so few minions in the deck that you can just Nightmare Lord and get an Endbringer Umbra. So that just gives you another element of consistency that's really nice. Okay, so we're drawing a lot of combo pieces, but still gotta find the egg. Yeah, looks like we're going to be chilling here for a minute. But one of the cool parts about this deck is you don't really mind chilling. Just assembling a great hand. Like, once I get the egg, double Siphoning Growth is pretty solid. Well, hybridization is crazy. There we go.
Won't be long now.
So we can do this at least 2 times next turn. Yeah, just 2 times. We got the double Siphoning Growth, probably. And Eternal Toil is better than I expected. I always thought it was a little mediocre. Kind of like a worse slam. You know, you deal 1 damage and then draw a card if it's still alive. But if you do kill the minion, you get a little minion, which that part's not super useful. I think drawing a card is much more useful, especially for 1 mana. He really living roots my Eggbearer? Okay. Nice, there's an execute.
Astonishing.
And let's just get some armor. I think that's okay. Yeah, I was thinking for a second about possibly doing like Eternal Toil on the Flutterwing. I could execute it, but you know, just trying to dig a little deeper into my deck. But I could just do this on my own guy. Draw 2 cards, then finish it off with the Sanguine Depths. That might help me dig into more ways to get rid of it. Something like a Decimate would be really crazy here. That would be the ideal scenario, I think. They're not doing a lot over there. I'm very surprised. Perfect. Literally the best possible draw. So that's 7 damage to everything. So we'll just do that so everything pops. And we're 2 cracks away from hatching. And unfortunately, you can't execute your own guy. It's only enemy minions. I tried to do that, and I was like, wait a second. It's enemy. Okay, well, they're definitely doing stuff over there. Ooh, that's nice. That'll get me the 20/20. It will not take out these 2. So I think I Eternal Toil this and then Shellnado. So they only have an 8/8 remaining, and I'll have a 20/20 taunt. Well, I guess it'll be an 8/3. Oh yeah, and then I can execute. Even better. And we've got the Umbra to follow up with. This is the best possible. Yeah, this deck is spicy. Like I was telling you, I like this a lot. I think there's a lot of potential for this list. There probably will need to be some optimizing in terms of like what your good one-ofs are. Like Acolyte of Pain is pretty good. It does help in some of those situations I found where you're just trying to dig a little deeper. Like you can Eternal Toil it, you draw 2 cards off of that.
Must have slept.
Unleash the Crocolisk is an interesting one of also. I almost expected that to be a 2 of. But the list does seem pretty tight. Because most of the things in here are pretty foundational. It's just the Acolyte, the Unleash. What else? Yeah, those are the only ones that I really think could be switched out much. They are gonna hate when I Umbra. Even if they get rid of it. Sure. Alright, good job, buddy. Well, check this out.
My people will regret turning their backs on me.
Yeah, this is mostly an unlosable situation.
Witness the heart of this man.
Okay. And then pump for the last one, maybe? Yeah. Makes sense. Well, I think we're gonna draw first. Yeah. Cool. Into a torch. Excellent draw. So this will still live. Wait, how can I do this? Yeah, I think we just do this. Come on, we're running out of time here. One torch there, one torch there. Smack 'em, smack 'em.
Druids of Azeroth.
Okay, that's a good one. That could help here. I'm not sure what they would want to get, though. Like, there's that guy that's like a 130 that gives you armor, but I can get through that pretty easily. Omen wouldn't be very good, because I want my guys to die. What else is there? There's a guy that plays the top 3 cards of your deck. Oh. Well, that was not good. I guess they were hoping maybe they get an egg and they get to resurrect it on their side, but even so, they're dead on the next turn, so. Alright, 1-0. What happened to my pen? There it is. So yeah, I was, when I first saw Imbue Druid and played it, I was like, oh god, what actually can beat this? But this deck seems to do decently against Imbue Druid. That's the second one I've played against and made light work of them, so. I think I'm going to try this. I like Acolyte in this deck. Ooh, okay. This is a very good hand.
By petal and sword.
I'm a little tempted to save the shield block for right before the Shellnado. Oh wow, we just drawn all gas. How do I want to do this? There's a couple ways you could play this. So you could just go shield block and pass. Try to accumulate more resources to do the egg. You could also go like coin Acolyte here and try, that would also help you dig. You could just play the egg. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Because if they don't get rid of it, then the axe on next turn could be really good. Shellnado also really good with Acolyte, because Shellnado does damage one at a time. Yeah, I love Acolyte. It's just a fantastic card. I think they up its stats. I want to say it was a 1-3 before. They might have changed it on that last update to a 1-4. That or I don't pay attention. One of the two. Alright, pretty cool. Yeah, they don't want to touch that Acolyte. Ooh, lordy, we just drawn all kinds of spicy stuff. I think I want to save that torch for... Yeah, we're going to save that torch for my egg. I think that's the best use of it. Another Depths.
Bring the pain.
Cool. Yeah, double Depths plus Torch is fantastic for the egg. Unless they do something crazy, I'll probably just go egg, poke it with Depths, torch it. Ooh, that's a good card. Alright, so I do have to be conscious now of what they're doing, because hybridization will give them a more explosive potential over the next couple turns. And I am at 23 already, which isn't that high of a life total against them. Thank you for the card. Not sure why they're giving me more cards.
Thanks, Buccaneer.
The time calls for action.
And Eternal Toil. My God. I'm tempted to shield block and armor so that I can just Shellnado whatever they do next turn. But they can't hit my face. So I guess I could just do that the following turn. Do I want to show him I have torch? I think it doesn't matter. So let's see, how soon can I do this? I think 4 breaks away. Then Disciple, Hero Power. I don't think there's any need to Chameleon. Yeah. Yeah, Shellnado would take out basically all of this turn. So that might have been the safe play. Ooh, Decimation's great. And this puts us, what, 2 breaks away, I think? Alright, one more break and the egg makes a 20/20, and we've already got Umbra and Decimation ready to go for next turn, so I'm feeling decent about this turn. We're going to take some damage here, sure, but as long as they don't have anything crazy like Forest's Gift, Mark of the Wild could be annoying, but I don't think they can find 8 damage unless they have a Forest's Gift. I do kind of wish I set up that Shellnado like I was talking about, but I think that's just to be extra safe. Fairly certain we can take care of this here. Because next turn I can go Shield Block, Shellnado, take out everything, and that makes my 20/20, or just Decimation for the same thing. Well, Decimation leaves their Flutterwing, but I'm not super concerned about that.
The time calls for action.
I guess we just Decimation? No, I think Shellnado's the best option, because that'll make sure that only this lives. If I Decimation, this and the 8/9 live. Yeah, I'm probably going to play Umbra next turn, because that'll give me another 20/20. Okay. Yeah, they're doing work over there. Sheesh. Yeah, they're really trying. This Umbra's going to be a big kick in the shin for them.
My people will regret turning their backs.
I must withdraw.
There it is. Alright, 2-0. Beat 2 Imbue Druids in a row. Yeah, I knew as soon as I saw Imbue Druid, I was like, the metagame's gotta adapt to beat this deck. Otherwise, that's just gonna be oppressive. So, nice to see that this has a good matchup there. Now, what beats this? Possibly very aggressive decks, but I mean, it'd be interesting to see what the Hunter matchup is like with this. Oh my god. I have a feeling I'm just going to play against a bunch of Imbue Druid.
Now you're sailing on my seas.
Yeah, I found this deck because I was playing a tournament today, and yeah, this is great. I was playing a tournament today, and my second matchup, the first round, if you lose, a lot of people just don't show up for round 2. So I was sitting there waiting to see if my opponent showed up for round 2, and I was looking at his deck list because you get to see what your opponent is playing. And one of the deck lists was this warrior deck, and I was like, this seems interesting. So I pulled the cards together, and I was like, okay, this has some serious potential. And yeah, I'm playing another tournament tomorrow, and I'm definitely gonna have this in my lists. I think it's a qualifier. It's interesting. They do like qualifiers for qualifiers to get to the Masters Tour or something like that. Shellnado. But pretty much everybody I played against was playing Imbue Druid. It was mostly Imbue Druid, some kind of warrior, majority Dragon Warrior, but there was some, like there was this one as a different variation, as well as I think the other one I saw was some kind of Enrage type effect, but it didn't have Egg or anything. It was, I think it was just like Herald, but with a lot of these types of spells, just not as control-like. Oh. That's pretty good. Another Shellnado. So I could hold this for next turn, because then I can do this and Shellnado at the same time. So maybe I just for glory here. Nice. I'm going to take some damage, but I think it's okay. Alright, they play Wildwood Circle. That's good to know. If they play that this turn, then that's a little rough. I'll get rid of some of them. Actually, no. These two will die as well as the 2/2s they create, should they play that this turn. What are they going to photosynthesis? Interesting. Into another one. Oh my god. Okay, that's not good. Ooh, big ol' cub. Alright, and I've got the torch, so I can deal with the cub, but I am going to take some more damage, unfortunately. And if they spam the board, Decimation might be the play. Cool. Torch it is. Sheesh. So yeah, probably axe and then torch. I guess Decimation is fine. That's 7 damage. How many more breaks do we have? 3 more, yeah. Cool, now I've got Nightmare Lord that will discover Endbringer. Perfect.
In any form, we defend the tree.
So this is 2 breaks away. Yeah, I could just Axe and then Axe, Torch, Eternal Turmoil, the new one, Torch.
Avast ye!
I'm gonna do that for good measure. Sure, trees it is. I'm surprised actually I haven't seen, there's a, I think it's a Warlock spell. I forget which one it is, but it's a choose one spell. So you can get it off of, what is it, Wave Shape? Not Wave Shaping. There's a 1-mana spell that discovers a choose one card. And a lot of times I'll see this card where one of the options is to destroy an enemy minion. I like to take that one from time to time, just as insurance against specific decks. But I haven't seen anyone use it yet, so I don't know. It could be that 1-mana spell is not ideal for the deck list, because I know there's some variations of Imbue Druid going around, like, you know, playing the Cub now or playing some other things. I think I should discover Umbra just so I'm ready for that. Oh. Decimation's not bad.
Nightmares are never forgotten.
Now it is relevant that this will summon a 2/2 with it, so there might not be enough space on the board.
Avast ye!
Do that. And then I guess we double torch. Yeah, the consistency of this deck is pretty baffling. It's pretty good. Because a lot of people can deal with the 2020 now. I mean, this format is really crazy, very powerful. So being able to reliably get an Endbringer is crazy. Because, I mean, if you can beat one 2020, sure, but, like, you can't fight your way through 3 or 4 of them.
Tucked in nice and warm.
Oops. Okay. Well, they're going to be very unhappy when I drop Umbra here then. Boom.
My people will regret turning their backs.
Oh, good. The Death Rattle triggers before we get the extra 2/2, so there probably just won't be space for it. That's great.
Can't win them all.
Boom. 3-0. Alright, crazy consistency. This is awesome. Let's see if I can get a good 5-0. So far, I think the only decks I've gone straight 5-0 on the first test were Imbue Druid, obviously, and Elemental Shaman, believe it or not. There's been a lot of decent 4-1 decks on the first test, but jeez. Alright, we're just playing all druids. This is... I mean, it's not bad, but I would definitely like to test this against other things.
Sailing on my seas.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about a couple of days ago. It's just... Yeah, once a deck is this good and not that difficult to pilot, then it's just going to be everywhere. So, how do I want to play this? Shellnado's probably worth keeping, especially with the Siphoning Growth, because that means turn 5 I can just clear the board and have 3 armor left over. Ideally with an egg, but, I mean, shoot, I'll do it on my Acolyte if I have to, I think. I'm tempted to just straight keep this hand. Yeah, I think this is a good hand. Oh, Carrier Whelp is not common in my experience. And we naturally drew the egg the best possible? What? Okay, this is not Imbue Druid. Cool. So I guess this is Dragon Druid?
Feed my children.
Nice. Alright, for Glory is active. Excellent draws. Oh, yeah. So we're going to do this just to stifle a little bit of this aggression. I'm tempted to execute it just so I can use this on my guy, or like on the Acolyte or something, but it'll be fine. Definitely would be a waste of an execute, but intrusive thoughts are intrusive. Okay, they've got a Wildwood Circle. Oh, Decimation is nice. So they've got 15 attack. I'm actually not super concerned. Alright, let's do that. So now they've got 17, but I've got 33 health again. Whoo! That's pretty good. Shellnado will clear most of these. There's going to be 1 2/2 left over. Excellent. And I could just pop this egg, but I think we'll hold off a second just to see what happens here. very tempted to Decimation here. Just because I'm at 15, I want to be careful of my life total. Ooh, another Shellnado. Very nice. Well, let's do this. And we are one away from popping that egg.
I remember this place well. I remember this place well.
Let the pain speak to me.
Not ideal to take more damage here, but we can clear the board out just to be safe.
Yeah! Yeah!
All are nourished when the cycle renews.
Sure.
Feed my children.
They've got to know I'm getting the egg off next turn. Between my arm, between my weapon and my depths, I've got it there.
Avast ye.
I got it like that. Let's get the Umbra just in case.
We cannot yield while nature endures.
Is that active? Oh yeah, so they all cost 1. Here come the dragons. Ooh, that's pretty good. That is a very good one. Alright, well done. Jeez, with the Whelp of the Infinite. Alright, now that could be problematic here. Because I can just make another 20/20, but...
What now? Feel devastation.
Yeah, I think our path to victory definitely involves this guy, but I'm not sure if this will be enough. And then we can do, which one is it? This one? Yeah, then we can do this. Torch it, and then we've got 2 of them, but I think they can get through that. So they've got Whelp for one of them. 9. Do they have more? Oh, okay, that'll do it. Yeah. Alright, well done. Well done. Interesting. We got taken down by Druid dragons? That's crazy. Alright, so 3-1. Pretty good record still, but that was unfortunate. As soon as I saw the carrier whelp on turn 1, I was like, oh, this should be a piece of cake. Nope. Yeah, the Elise was pretty solid. They got some good spells off of that. Plus copying the minions was very relevant. Yeah, that was well played.
Azeroth will break. Now you're sailing on my seas.
So how do I mulligan against a warrior? I almost always keep Sanguine Depths. That's pretty solid. I don't hate this, because they are very likely going to be playing minions. I assume it's Herald or Dragons. Sure. And the removal in this deck is great. Like, Torch alone is fantastic, but then adding on Execute as well as these types of spells, pretty solid. Alright, looks like Dragon Warrior. Yeah, this is probably my favorite hero. Very cool.
Feed my children. What horror will hatch?
And not attacking. Cool. Don't know if I really can justify torching this minion. Seems like possibly a little too much. There are probably better options, but I wouldn't mind Slam just because it would dig me a card deeper. I think I'm gonna do that just for the sake of some card advantage. Alright, Decimation's great. That's a good draw. So that informs how I'm going to play over the next couple of turns at least.
Cut your lifetime to bits.
There we go. Yeah, I was thinking about For Glory last turn, but I figured they would drop some more minions.
Step off into the time waves.
I think we start with that. We got a Shellnado, okay. Kind of hard not to do that. Wow, we can go Crocolisks and Shellnado next turn. That's pretty good.
What What now?
Now we're gonna do this. Get a card deeper. Cool. And we'll take a little bit of damage next turn, but I think it's fine. Ooh, look at that. That's a big boy. Alright, that gets a little trickier. Maybe I will slam and torch the Windpeak Worm. Yeah, I think I slam and torch that. Let's see what we draw.
Won't be long now.
Yeah, we'll just go get the egg. I think that's the play here. Taking a little more damage, but nothing too crazy. And having Crocolisks, jeez. Okay, that's a little brutal. Decimation is 6 damage. I guess that works.
Don't crack it.
Yeah, that was definitely a misplay not to count my hand.
Looks like we've got a fight for the ages.
Because that Siphoning Growth could have got me back up to 19 here. That would have helped a lot. Okay. It's not looking great here. I guess Shellnado's probably the play. Not stoked about it, but this does give me more armor. Alright, no Gromosh. Nothing crazy here, please.
Titan's experiments will not be dismissed.
Alright, that's fine. Oh, it has charge. Oh. Okay, that's not fine. That's very not fine, bro. Okay. Shield block is helpful, thank goodness. I think we should do this.
Avast ye!
That allows me to gain more armor. Good. Whew, we are alive. Yeah, they've had really good offense this game. Ooh. Well, there it is. Yeah. Alright, so finishing 3 and 2. not the greatest. I expected to do a little bit better than this, but this deck has a very good Imbue Druid matchup, so there's that. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's hard to be mad at that. I mean, what are you gonna do? But yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thank you for watching. Definitely check out the other videos on the channel. Lots of stuff. I'm trying to play as many things as I can and get through as many different decks as I can in this new metagame as it evolves, and kind of report back about how the metagame is evolving. So it seems like, obviously, as you saw in the first 3 games, Imbue Druid is all over the place. Very obviously a good deck. I like this deck because it's got a good matchup there. I think it definitely needs some fine-tuning to deal with other things in the metagame. Like that Dragon Warrior matchup was a little rough. I guess just the Dragon matchup, because I lost a Dragon Druid also. But what can you do? Definitely going to keep working on this. And it might also be about how I play. It's possible the mulligans just need to be adjusted differently for some of the different matchups, so I'll definitely work on that. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Peace and love. Catch you next time.